All righty. We are back with another day in the MLB. It is Thursday, May 8th. I have Tone with me per usual. We don't have a huge slate today, but we definitely have a good amount of plays that we can run through. Tone, how was you yesterday? And how you feeling about today?
Yesterday was pretty good. Up 2 units. Had a lot of long shot plays out there, and a good amount of them cashed. It was setting up to be a phenomenal day. I think after the first two or three games, everything was hitting, and then of course, fell back to the means. So still ended up on top. Felt good. Would love to have a type of day I had yesterday every day, and then we'd be looking fine. So it was good. But what about your day?
Horrific. The day went downhill fast. Bet on a lot of different things. Mainly NBA just was horrendous. The Celtics fucking suck. Jason Tatum fucking sucks. Jalen Brunson did everything besides, shoot threes last night. And when he did, he missed them. And then obviously the OKC game was a blowout. And then MLB-wise, I literally couldn't hit the broadside of a barn if I tried. Let me double check on
Dog of the day.
Dog of the day missed. I had Tyler Mahle over K's. He didn't even get one. Dylan Cease cooked. I did him under 15.5 outs.
Yeah, dude, I saw his stat line after the game. I was like, damn, he's so bad.
Oh, he cooked. 9 Ks too. Anyway, then I took the Braves and Reds Nerfy. 2-run shot. Cooked. First inning. All right. Anyway, yeah. Rough
I will
day.
say for the dog of the day, there was a time in the day where I'm like, the Nats got up early, and I was like, fuck, maybe we should have chose the Nats. And then they ended up losing their game. And then the A's got up early. I was like, fuck, maybe we should have chosen the A's.
I saw
and
that.
then they ended up losing. So, it kind of felt, it was hard because, I don't think a ton of dogs won yesterday. I know the Giants as, plus 131. But other than that, I don't know what else was actually out there. I'd have to go back and check. But you know what? All dogs got to eventually go to heaven. Now we're starting a new one here.
Now we got another run going. Still 8 for 9 in our last 9. I mean, that's still crazy.
Okay, so throughout all of the dogs we've picked, I have not tailed. I have not actually bet on any of them because once we started getting hot, I was like, I can't mess up the mojo and bet on it. I can't be the reason that this loses. So now that it's done, the streak is done, I'm like, okay, now I can actually hop back on.
Yeah, now you can start betting it again. Okay.
Yeah.
There's the last.
I was like, now that I know we kind of like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get on
we're
it.
sharp. Now we're about to go 0 for 7 on our next 7 dogs. Anyway,
100%.
we have the Orioles and Twins as our first game at the 110 slot. Orioles at plus 130, Twins at minus 140, over under 7.5 and 8.5. Can get the money line here for Minnesota. Spreads of Minnesota. Totals on the under. Bailey Ober and Dean Krem. I think Dean Krem. Why does it say Joe Ryan and Bailey Ober?
Joe Ryan was supposed to start, and then he got pushed back due to an injury.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't know why he's still on
it's going to be Bailey Ober.
Yeah, Bailey Ober and Dean Kremer on the mounds there. Popular market play is Bailey Ober under 6.5 Ks. So it's juiced as fuck, but play.
I did take it, but I put it in a parlay with Dean Kramer to go under 4.5 strikeouts. Both are minus 150. So throw a half a unit on that. 2-way under strikeout parlay. I like both lines to go under. It's just obviously they're juiced out the ass. So instead of risking 2 units and then have it be a disaster when both flop, huge downside, not a lot of reward betting on 150. So I'm gonna parlay them together. And Bailey Ober, I actually think between the two, I'm a little more scared of Bailey Ober, even though his is the much higher line. Dude was a phenomenal strikeout pitcher last year. This year, he is not getting as nearly as much whiff as he did in the previous season. So I was looking up some numbers, and the Orioles and the Twins are both relatively low in terms of chase, swinging at pitches outside the zone. And that's kind of where both these pitchers thrive, is that they get batters to swing outside the zone, but they don't necessarily miss bats. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic there. I kind of think that these offenses can play into these pitcher strengths and avoid strikeouts. So, there's a chance that Bailey Ober he has that upside to like strike out 7 for sure. So that kind of makes me a little nervous, but 6.5, very tall line. I don't think he's hit it yet this year. So,
he's so due.
Yeah, he is a little due. The due factor would suggest that he's going for 7, but
dude,
Dean Kramer. Yeah,
I had this conversation the other day. I don't think there's a position in sports outside of like golf and single player sports. There's more amplified when you play bad than pitcher.
Yeah.
Like I think is the most.
I don't know.
Like if you play bad as a pitcher, like you cost your team the game damn near every single time.
I see what you mean.
Unless your offense is just
you could
booming.
say that about you could say that about a quarterback though, right? Like bad QB
yeah, but
plays,
like a lot of times the run game can really ease a lot off you. You can take some pressure. The defense can make help. Like we've seen so many times where a bad quarterback is saved by an elite defense. Where it's like, I guess
so.
Maybe a pitcher can make up. I think there's just so much highlight on pitchers in today's game. Like if you take a dip in production as a pitcher, it goes very much noticed. Comparison to just like some other sports where you can be complimented around.
Yeah, I would actually disagree. I feel like pitchers are dudes who can like get much better results or much worse results than the actual process of what they're doing. Because I feel like, yeah, definitely. I think that's why there's so many like expected stats and why like dudes would have such a disparity between them. Because I think that like, baseball is kind of it's a very like lucky game. Like dudes can let up a ton of hard contact, but like everything that gets hit just kind of finds a glove. Whereas like over time you would expect that to be like a disastrous start. And then obviously the inverse can work too. But I kind of feel like, I don't know. I kind of think that like people. I think when people watch pitchers, it's hard to determine like how good they're actually pitching because a lot of times like leave a hanging changeup over the plate and it's like a good amount of times that would get crushed for a home run and like batters don't even swing at it, because they just like weren't ready. But it was like you got real lucky that like he kind of just watched that one,
Yeah, fair enough. That is fair. That's why I brought it up. It's an interesting topic though, for sure. Who gets the most shit in sports? But we can. You were talking about Dean Kramer there.
Yeah, I was just talking about Dean Kramer as strikeouts. He's another guy like Ober who gets a decent amount of chase, but like he's like Dean Kramer's like Bailey Ober light, where Kramer's chase percentage is in the 65th percentile. Ober's is like 90th percentile, but in terms of whiff, Ober's like average, and then Kramer's 2nd percentile. So just with both pitchers, good amount of chase, but like not actually missing that many bats. So I feel good about them going under their strikeout line, but yeah, super fucking juiced. So what are you going to do?
Yep. Nope. Fair enough. Definitely parlay it. Put a little half union on and you're fine and you're cooking. I don't have anything for this game, so I'm more than glad that we can just keep it pushing. Rangers plus 130, Red Sox minus 144, over under 9.5. Money lines at Boston, spreads at Boston, totals on the under. Brian Bello is pitching, and then Jack Leiter's also pitching. Brian Bello is also the popular market play at under 4.5 Ks. So where are you at for this one, Steen? And do you have any plays for this game? 2 young bucks on the mound, huh?
What's that?
2 young bucks on the mound.
Yeah, definitely. I do like the under strikeouts for Bayo. I like his under 4.5. I think Leiter's also at 4.5. Kind of like the under there. If I were to pick one, I definitely think I kind of lean Bayo. And I think when I checked this morning, he was also a better price. I think Leiter had more juice to go under, so I would lean Bayo, and even in a vacuum there. But what I did take was over 5 runs in the first 5. Speaking about the thing we were just talking about, like Bayo's a dude who gets a ton of ground balls, 89th percentile ground ball rate, and like I feel like he's kind of been getting away with some pretty good starts, and I just don't think it's like representative of like how not good of a pitcher he's been so far this year. like xERA 16th percentile, XBA 18th percentile. Walks a decent amount of dudes, lets up like a good amount of hard contact. I feel like it's only a matter of time before we see like a blow up Bayo start. And, like Texas offense is not. It's probably a great matchup for Bayo with how bad Texas has been swinging it, but you got to imagine that they still have like some glimmer of hope in them that they can like, shell a pitcher that's not pitching well. I mean, they got to Lucas Giolito yesterday, but I don't know. It was also like fucking downpouring. So
yeah,
and it's Lucas Giolito, so who really knows? But yeah, that's with Bayo, and then on the other side, I think Jack Leiter is doing some interesting things. I don't think he's like he's one of those dudes like just against the Red Sox offense. I feel like he's just gonna get slapped around. I mean, the Red Sox are like top 5 in basically every stat, like X WOBA, X slug. I think they're number 1 in like hard hit rate and average exit velocity. And like I said, I think Jack Leiter's doing some cool stuff, but like this just kind of feels like a spot he gets overpowered. So I think in the first 5, we'll probably see more than 5 runs.
Yeah, no, I like that spot a lot. That's kind of the same direction I was looking at first 5. We do have Jesse in the chat, but there is no Pirates game today. He says, been stuck in the hospital all night waiting for my wife to start giving birth. Slept on 2 chairs. No Pirates game to ruin the day, but let's still have a great day. Shout out Jesse for real. Shout out. Way to be a dog. But yeah, no Pirates game. That's sad to see. That's
probably better.
Honestly. Yeah, honestly, that's just for your own mental health. It's probably way better. Kid gets born into an L. It's just like can't have that happen. So
can't do it.
No.
All right, I have to tell the wife to wait for the Pirates to win a game.
It might be a while.
Then you can deliver.
Yo, I was looking at again, I know you said first 5, but I was looking at the full game total. That's something I had written down. I didn't take it, but do you like the full game total, or are you just kind of stuck on the first 5?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like full game. I'm good with it for sure.
Yeah, I got a 9. That's where I saw the best odds for -115 on FanDuel. So I'm going to take the full game over. I think just both these offenses can explode this game, kind of like you said in the first 5, and then kind of feel like once they get hot, they get hot. So I want to keep that rolling. I think 9 is a pretty easy number that both of them could easily slam. Plus, again, you said, weather with yesterday and everything. Now it should be a good day from what I'm seeing in Boston. Yeah. So should be a good day. Should be able to hit some fucking dongs. So -115 feels like a good spot. White Sox and Royals are next, +210 for the White Sox, -222 for the Royals. Over under 8.5. Everything's with the Royals, and the total is on the under. Bubic and Martin are on the mounds. In the popular market plays, Chris Bubic strikeouts under 5.5. Excuse me.
Oh, it's under. Okay, that's kind of where I lean with. I thought 5.5 was a little high for him.
Yeah. So is a market.
I was trying to because like White Sox have been striking out kind of a lot. I mean, they're 8th most in the last 20 games against lefties, but it's also like 24%, which isn't like an outrageous number. Yeah, it's a tough call with the 5.5 for Bubic, and I think there's some type of over I'm going to take in this game. I'm really not sure if I'm going to go full game, maybe just Royals, because I think they should be able to get to Davis Martin. They've been swinging it pretty well against righties. I kind of feel like they're a very Jekyll and Hyde offense at times, but like part of me is kind of wants to go with the over because I think the Royals can kind of kill Martin. And then I think Bubic, even though I really like Bubic and what he's doing this year, for whatever reason, I just have this like letdown spot kind of in my mind where I'm like, he'll probably have like a good game, like 5.5 innings, 5 2/3, whatever, but like kind of let up like 3 runs throughout the process. And so I think the over is a pretty good play. I wish I got it at 7.5. I was looking at 7.5 this morning. It was like -135, and I was like, that's kind of pricey. And now it's up to like 8.5. So yeah, I don't know. I've considered just going with Royals over 4.5, but that's also pretty juiced, or just going Davis Martin over 2.5 earned runs. I think that's like -115. But I don't have any plays for this one yet, but those are like the 3 angles that I'm looking at.
Yeah, I don't really have any for this game either, but the earned runs line feels good. Well, what are the odds at? Minus 115.
The weird thing is Davis Martin, he's gotten away with like some starts where I think he's like shut out teams, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, let me look at that. Davis Martin,
like I feel
shutting teams down. Earned runs.
Oh
my God, he has. Yeah, Athletics, Minnesota, and the Angels. He's shut out.
Yeah, and that's like in 6 innings against the Angels, 5 against Minnesota, 6 against the A's in Sacramento.
Is Davis Martin just nice like that, huh?
I don't think so, because then he also has blow-up games where he's letting up 5 to Detroit, 5 to Houston. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at... I was looking at
7 to Detroit, 4 to the Athletics, 3 to Houston. It's nuts.
Okay, so, I mean, his ERA on the year is actually not bad. It's, 3.52. xERA is much worse, and it's because he doesn't get any strikeouts, gets hit hard pretty much, does get a decent amount of ground balls. So, ground ball pitchers are going to just have like a high variance. Again, it just kind of comes down to like, are those ground balls finding gloves? But you'll have oftentimes like ground ball pitchers will have blow up spots where things are constantly finding holes, and then it's like just they have disaster innings in them. But like, it kind of feels like a ground ball pitcher but also gives up hard contact like Davis Martin. More often than not, you're going to have like disaster innings rather than like someone who high ground ball pitcher also limits hard contact, Yeah,
100%. Maybe we'll stay away from that.
Again, probably like if I were to rank them, I think I'd do like Royals over 4.5, Martin over 2.5, full game over 8.5. I think that's probably how I'd rank them.
All right. We got the leans. We can move on to the next game as we have the Tigers and the Rockies at the 310 slot. Tigers minus 169, how you down? And then Rockies at plus 162. Over is 9.5 and under 10. Detroit money line spread Detroit and totals on the over. Casey Mize and Kyle Freeland are on the mounds. Popular market plays Casey Mize over 4.5 Ks.
I mean,
go ahead.
It's a low line for a game against the Rockies. So like, I get it. I saw that this morning and I was like, holy crap. I was like, that's probably way too low. I didn't really look into it. I think what I really like in this game is just the full game over of 9.5. Like that fucking worked yesterday. Fucking, like I think it was 12 runs in the first 5 innings or something.
Yeah, it's nice.
Not that that's indicative of what's going to happen today, but it's just that's Coors Field for you. So I kind of think that Mize has like the tools to kind of fare well in Coors, but I don't have like a ton of confidence in that. And Kyle Freeland, I have almost no confidence in against Tigers offense. That's kind of banging right now. So I'd have to look deeper into the Mize strikeout to have like a real opinion, but I think I'm just waiting for like a finalized lineup because we got a double header today. So just kind of making sure that there's no, studs getting a break in the early game. So
yeah,
but yeah, over 9.5 feels good.
I feel like it's a good spot. I ended up taking Casey Mize over 17.5 outs. That's the direction I went, going over this in obviously 50% of games this season, but this is one of the best matchups he's going to see in the Rockies. Despite allowing 4 runs in the last outing, he still pitched through 7. So clearly the Tigers just have a long leash with him. Colorado walks the 4th fewest. He should have a low pitch count. He also ranks 70th percentile in swing strike rate. As we were talking about earlier, he should be able to get more than 4.5 Ks. Should be able to also get some weak contact. So I think Casey Mize is a pretty good spot here to go over 17.5. We do have a comment, though. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was saying that I was looking up. You got at minus 115.
Yeah.
I just saw Kyle Freeland's also at 17.5. his under is -125. That feels pretty good, not going to lie.
Like a lockety lock. How many times does Freeland hit 17? He hit 18 last game against the Giants. And he started the season with hitting 18, 20, 19.
Yeah. In terms of his home games, though, 2 out of 3 this year, 50% last year against games and cores.
Yeah. He could get absolutely shelled.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, probably want to look into how Tigers are doing against lefties.
Robbie said, I took the Rockies game to have over 2.5 home runs at +120 on DK. The EV is expected to go over, and the true value should be -155 for the weather conditions. So it's good value to get it.
Nice.
Dub
Rob. Stats.
Yeah, Dub stats. Dub not going off the 5s.
Dub math.
All right. We can't keep pushing. I don't have anything else for this game. Just probably going to get shelled. All right. We have the Phillies and Rays. Phillies are -140. Rays are +130. Over under 8.5 and 9. Phillies are 83% of the money line. Spread is with Philly. Totals on the over. Luzardo and Pepio are on the mounds. Under 5.5 for Pepio. Strikeouts is the popular market play.
Under 5.5?
Yep. -140.
Yeah. He is not having a great season, Ryan Pepio, but I still have like a hard time fading him. I think he's pitching a lot better than what he's been showing. His strikeout numbers aren't bad. He's getting a good amount of chase, decent amount of whiff, only resulting in 21% strikeout rate. Probably should be higher than that. But obviously Philly's really good lineup. Don't strike out a ton. Yeah, I don't really have I don't have any plays for this one. I don't really have any strong leans either. It's just like I'm not gonna like fade Jesus Luzardo right now. Fading Pepio is probably a smart move, but I just still think he's a lot better than what he's doing.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not really touching this game. I kind of want to lean Luzardo just because he's hot, but nothing really.
Maybe there's like a. I haven't really looked at hitter props, but maybe there's something there.
Probably. I mean, there always normally is some sort of value. Let me look.
Who's going yard?
Schwarber?
Fuck it.
Who's taking a bomb today? What catastrophic thing happened today for Nick Castellanos to go yard? We can always
need to watch the news.
No, actually. Dude, Newark Airport's in shambles.
Home run.
Newark Airport's like, damn. I'm supposed to.
So this one is. Oh, wait, actually. That's weird. Yeah, never mind. I was looking at Brandon Lowe over half HRR for -140. It's pretty expensive, but it's also a lefty. Like, I don't even know. I'm not even sure he's going to play in this one. Bryson Stott, 1.5 HRR, -125.
Yeah. I'm thinking junior. You can get over 1.5 HRR. Good value.
For what?
Junior 1.5 HRR, -115. -110, excuse me. You can get he hits righties at a much higher rate, and Jesus Luzardo pitches worse to righties at a much higher rate. 278 for junior.
Jesus a lefty.
Lefty, yeah. I mean, sorry, excuse me. That's what I meant. Sorry, I was reading the stats right, and then I just fucking said it wrong. He gets hit pretty well against lefties. 18 singles, 7 doubles. Hasn't given up a dong though. It's right-handed batters.
Really
crazy, yeah. According to this, it's a decent shout. I want to do Trey Turner. He's been fucking rolling, but it's just way too expensive. -140. I'm just not buying. I'm just not buying it. Anyway, all right. We'll keep it pushing. Nothing really here of value for us to take away, so we keep pushing. All right. Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves. These guys fucked me yesterday. Over under 7.5. plus 175, minus 190. Money lines with Atlanta. Spread is with Cincy. Totals on the over. Schwellenbach is on the mound with Nick Lodolo. And the popular market play, listen to this. The popular market play, the top four plays are over 5.5 Ks for Schwellenbach, over 6.5 Ks for Schwellenbach, over 7.5 Ks for Schwellenbach, over 8.5 Ks for Schwellenbach, all paired with the play that is under all of those, under 5.5 Ks for Schwellenbach. So clearly there is some back and forth on Schwellenbach today, but it seems like people are laddering him.
Not, that's interesting for sure. I feel like Schwellenbach's been all over the map, just with his season so far, to where, like, I mean, I get the upside, but I just feel like what he's been showing so far is not, like, super encouraging to be laddering him.
Considering he hasn't hit 8.5 Ks even close.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly though, like, a ton of chase, a lot of whiff, just not resulting in strikeouts. Interesting. Does give up a lot of hits. Yeah. Schwellenbach's, he's hard to get a read on. Like, dude in the beginning half of the year was like, felt so dominant, but also like wasn't really getting strikeouts. And now the strikeouts aren't there and he's kind of getting hit around. Like, it's just a weird vibes from Schwellenbach, not gonna lie. And then my lean was actually to go with Lodolo under 4.5 strikeouts. Dude's only striking out 17.8% of his batters. I feel like Atlanta matches up well with Lodolo in terms of avoiding strikeouts. Although their projected lineup is kind of weird. I've been seeing some like different lineup projection for them, so I'd probably wait for that. Like, I don't, for whatever reason, one site has fucking Stuart Fairchild batting 5th. That is, maybe that's what they do against lefties. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'd have to go back and look at that. So that kind of just threw me off right now. But yeah, Lodolo getting a ton of chase, not a lot of whiffs. I think that's my lean for that one. I'd have to actually look into it more.
All right. Yeah, I don't really have much for this, so we can keep it pushing. I trust your Lodolo play. So if you guys want, let's rock Lodolo. I'm staying away from Schwellenbach. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, I probably would too. It's gone under in 5 out of 7 games this year.
Yeah.
The Lodolo strikeout.
I can't wait to look back at this and him have 9 Ks and us be like, damn. Should have tailed the market. It. All right. Let's go to the Blue Jays and Angels. Excuse me. Didn't mean to click that. My beloved Jays and Angels. Minus 125, plus 121 for the Angels. Over 8.5 and under 8.5 is the total. Money lines with Toronto. Spread is with LA. Totals on the under. Bassett's on the mound with Soriano on the other side. Popular market play is Chris Bassett over 8.5 strikeouts. Why? I don't know. But over 8.5 Ks is the line.
I mean, it is the Angels. I could look up the exact numbers of how bad the Angels have been in terms of strikeouts, but what is Bassett's normal line for today? 5.5?
Yeah, but it's juiced. Minus 146.
Jesus. I see. Okay.
The K percentage for LA against right-handed pitchers, they strike out the second most in the past 15 games. They also create the 5th fewest runs versus right-handed pitchers.
Yeah, so they've been pretty putrid against right-handed pitchers. So,
holy shit!
Yeah, don't have a lot of confidence in them. Although
their entire lineup strikes out more than 24% of the time outside of 2 players against right-handed pitchers this season. That's nuts.
Interesting. Okay.
Honestly, put me at the plate. See what the fuck happens.
Yeah, see what happens.
All right.
Yeah, I guess I don't hate the long shot call. I mean, there are games where it just feels like the Angels they just, strike out like a dozen times as a team. So I guess I don't hate it. Jose Soriano's on the mound for